What is going on, everybody? Episode 7 of the Sonoma State Dynasty here on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel. Hope everyone is doing well. In this one, we have a matchup with the Marshall Thundering Herd, a team playing up in the ACC. But you know how we do it at this point. Business before the pleasure. So let's take care of some things before we get into highlights. Starting with a little recruiting update. We got 4-star middle linebacker Alexander Lafferty letting us know he's going to UCLA out of Newport Beach. He's out of Newport Beach, California. Going to UCLA, so we are out of the running on him. We're going to replace him on the board with 3-star middle linebacker Manny Costello, a JUCO recruit from Sparks, who I don't love, but adds an added layer of challenge, I suppose, taking in more JUCO guys. And in real life, Sonoma State takes a lot of junior college transfers, which could be for a number of reasons if you've paid attention to news going on around the school recently. Praying for everyone going to Sonoma. Hope things end up working out better than they are right now. But maybe this can be a little release for you, Sonoma State Dynasty, as we try to build up, well, a dynasty in Rohnert Park. This is maybe the better version of the story for Sonoma State. But back to business. 3-star athlete / running back George McGraw from Stockton. He's going to Nevada. So he saw us beat them and decided he was better off there, I guess. But we're going to replace him on the board with 3-star Nolan Knight, who ends up being a gem. He is out of Kernersville, North Carolina. So we'll see if we end up getting him. But looking back at some scores from last week, I didn't note this one, but we had the Red River rivalry between Oklahoma and Texas, and it was the Sooners coming up with the win in the Cotton Bowl. That's the stadium they're playing in. It wasn't the Cotton Bowl game. But Oklahoma 27-15 over the Longhorns, and then Florida State's triumphant run comes to an end in Death Valley against the LSU Tigers, falling 28-20. Staying in the SEC, Georgia would go into Miami and pick up a 33-25 win over Cam Ward and company. And then Oregon, in what is now a Big Ten conference game, they go on the road to Utah, take care of the Utes, 21-17. Got a little ahead of myself there looking at the 7 and the 17. Before reading the 21, and then wrapping things up, staying in the Big Ten, it was the Buckeyes taking care of the Trojans 34-24. So Ohio State keeps rolling on this campaign. And looking ahead to some other games going on this week, number 17 LSU, going to keep them in the, second week in a row they have a notable game as they go to Tennessee to take on the 21st ranked Volunteers down in Knoxville. And then the Crimson Tide, ranked number 4, they go to Texas to take on the Longhorns, who will look to bounce back from their tough loss to Oklahoma, who had been having a not-so-great season. We'll see if maybe the Sooners get back on track after that big win. Maybe that was better to make a note of when I was reading the score for that game. But then finally, we got the 8th-ranked Wolverines of Michigan going to take on the 25th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. And then after the next video, so before our game versus... Oh, man. Who do we play after UCSB? BYU. In our BYU video, we'll take a look at the conference standings, because that's when things will really ramp up and teams will have actually played enough conference games to get an idea of what is actually seeming to shape up in each conference. Quick look at our team stats. It's TB5 putting in a great season so far, averaging 372 yards of total offense, combining that passing and rushing yardage, and 18 combined passing and running touchdowns. Great season for the sophomore quarterback. And we'll see if he can keep it going this week as we look for our 3rd straight win, still at home, and we take on the Marshall Thundering Herd, who are playing up in the ACC this season. On the season, back-to-back victories over Nevada and Army. Gonna wear an all dark blue alternate today. Let me know if you have a favorite uniform in the comment section. Again, I designed them to be interchangeable, I think is the right word. So if there's a certain combination everyone likes, I'm down to make that the primary uniform. That could be a discussion for the end of the season as we get into it against Marshall. And we are on offense, and it is TB5 getting it outside. Blocks from Williamson. Blocks from Marshall and 16 yards to open up the game for the Seawolves. But an early 3rd and 2 against this Marshall front. A little odd front from the Thundering Herd, and Barnes is going to keep it for the Sonoma State first down. Already 4 rushes on the opening drive, if you saw there. So we don't want to overuse him, but we need to use him when we need to use him. And on a 2nd and 3, it is going to be a connection with Javion Foreman for a first down. And here a rip down the middle to Scott McLawler, not able to hang on. Would have been a big play, would have been a big connection. The tight ends had a great year, but not able to get that one. A little trips into boundary here. See if we can either open up that wide side, get numbers on the perimeter, or get a single high look. Those are kind of the 3 outcomes there. We get a single high look, and we are able to hit Javion Foreman again, number 15. The junior receiver for a first down, and a good opening march for the Seawolves. Almost 5 minutes off the clock play, 11-minute quarters. And it is going to be Demetrius Williamson with his 2nd deflection that has led to a touchdown this year. Tremendous concentration from the senior. Fire that bow into the crowd. Hope that doesn't hit anybody. Touchdown, Sonoma State, and a tremendous start. Looking for a 3-0 homestand, and the defense is going to keep it rolling early. That's Chase Freeman getting into the backfield, the leader, the captain of the defense, the senior middle linebacker. He'll be a tough presence to replace next season. But a screen on a 3rd and 12 here. Chance to make the tackle, but an exceptional spin move out on the perimeter, and it is a first down. Marshall, and off the play action here, going to get it over into the middle of the field. It is Freeman and Jacques Blanks in on the tackle for Sonoma State, and then here Blanks cannot chase him down, cannot put the cap on with Solomon, and then it is Blanks who gets back into the play with the tackle. But Marshall down into the red zone, answering back quickly on a great Sonoma State drive, and all the way down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and inches, breaking a couple tackles there are the Thundering Herd. And a nice play there on the ball by Jacques Blanks, tried to go with the RPO, get it out quick there. And here, another type of option, a straight zone read, and it is a keeper for a Thundering Herd touchdown. It is 7-7 in this opening quarter in Rohnert Park. One day we will fill up that open section back there. I'm telling you, we'll have the whole stadium rocking. In a game other than the first game of the season, first game of the year, typically you have a little more crowd, and then the dynamic attendance really takes effect. And one day we're going to fill this place, I'm telling you. But a 3rd and 12 on our 2nd drive. TB5 in the offense. Spencer Strickland in the backfield. Scott McLawler, the tight end, in the slot to the right. And nothing for Barnes. He is going to get rocked. Already the 3rd sack of the game. Did not show the other 2. Those probably accounted for at least one of his rushing attempts earlier on, I would guess. But it is going to be Marshall right back to work underneath, closing out the first quarter in what is a 7-7 ball game at this point. And then over the middle for another first down. Marshall keeps it moving, the 5-2 Thundering Herd on a good roll offensively. We had a great first play from Chase Freeman getting into the backfield, but it's been nonstop movement since. Get a missed throw right there. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 underneath once again. Jacques Blanks and the BDC pipe. Bubba Van Claiborne in there on the hit to bring it to an end, but off play action right into the flat, down the sideline. No one over there, and all the way down to the 2-yard line is the Thundering Herd, and they have a 1st and goal, a long one, a short 2, but a nice dive for a Marshall touchdown, and they will take the first half lead, their first lead of the game, and it is a 14-7 score. Early in the 2nd quarter, it's going to be Keontae Tyson getting it going for Noma Nation, for the Pack. I don't know. What's another good nickname for us? Seawolves? I don't know. Here we go. Jackson Gregory, the fighting fullbacks. That sounds nice. Jackson Gregory across midfield and into Marshall territory on the Seawolves' 3rd drive of the game. Looking for a response and a little counter here. Nice block from the fullback. See, he does all that gritty work. And Keontae Tyson gets the nice gain out of it. Going to move around Javion Foreman. Try to set up a better look for ourselves on this 2nd and 1. and we're just going to get it downhill with Spencer Strickland for a first down. And really what we're trying to do there with all that movement is just get the linebackers in a better spot for our offensive line to get to them in the second level. Depending on where they are, it's going to be harder for our offensive linemen to reach them, especially with our overalls that we're working with. So just trying to use some motion and shifts to set up some better positioning, and a big play chance there to get an equalizing touchdown for Javion Foreman. Cannot quite bring it in. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. It is going to be a rip over the middle of the field. Foreman this time hangs on, 4 catches, 51 yards in this opening quarter, and that is going to set up a 1st and goal for Sonoma State. And off the bootleg, it is Alex Gunderson in that front left corner pylon for the Sonoma State touchdown. And apparently we like firing the bow when we score in this one. Maybe it's the uniforms. I'm not really sure. No, it's certainly an input I'm hitting on the control. But a stop there for the defense on a 3rd and 4, our first of the game. And we're going to have an opportunity to jump back in the lead, and never a bad idea to go to Scott McLawler, who has been such a steady presence for us all season long. And then here, we're going to get it back into the hands of our most dynamic runner, our quarterback. You already know who it is, number 5, TB5, Teron Barnes. First down, Sonoma State. So that's going to set up a 3rd and 13. Going to get a switch curl concept here. Go for the out, and a missed throw from Barnes to Foreman. And that is going to give Marshall a chance to take the lead going into half, just under 2 minutes in this opening half. I feel like if you say opening frame, that's referring to the quarter, but opening half of football, and it's going to be a deep ball to end the half and broken up, and a pretty steady 14-14 game. Gave up the 2 touchdowns on the first drive, got 2 stops as well. Offense had 2 touchdown drives, so really balanced offensively, defensively, and then of course between the teams on the scoreboard equal as well, with it 14-14. So the same place we started, score-wise, as Chase Freeman gets a sack to set up a 3rd and 11 on the opening Marshall drive of the second half, and an exceptional job over there. Jaden Bowie, number 20, big play breakup by the freshman. Going to be fun to follow his development, and a little injury here for Keontae Tyson, so we'll see how involved he is throughout the rest of this game, as it is another 3rd and long. Feels like it's been happening a lot in this game for us, but can we make something happen? Underneath to Demetrius Williamson, that's an interesting 4th down opportunity, but our defense is playing well. We're going to trust them. We're going to punt the football back. And that always ends up being a terrific idea. Right down the hash. Touchdown, Marshall, and they are back in front for the 2nd time today. An electric 80-yard touchdown over the top. And the Herd offense, when it has rained, it has poured. Plenty of chunk plays for Marshall. I mean, again, we play such a boomer bust style of defense. It's just always so heartbreaking when you give up the boom. It'd be nice to force some more turnovers, but we do have the playmakers on offense to do a little bit of something, primarily at quarterback, and then the rest of it is just kind of finding where the soft spots in the defense are. But Keontae Tyson is going to make his own soft spots. A little stiff arm there as he gets down the field and into Marshall territory on our, 2nd drive of the second half, and a shot down the field here cannot connect with Demetrius Williamson. Probably had a better shot over the middle of the field. But we're never going to complain about an opportunity to get Teron Barnes running, and Alex Gunderson gets a touchdown, gets a block. That's the kind of gritty work you want to reward as a coach, and it's the kind of little things that you need. Perfect example. Those kinds of little things you need if you're going to win games against opponents with better talent, which is pretty much everyone we're going to play all year long. And wide open is Spencer Strickland on the corner out, and a miss. 2nd big miss of the game. Love adding in a little corner to that inside cross concept, and a little over disguise, I think is the way I want to put it. The defense was trying to hide what they were doing, but it meant the guy man coverage on the running back was coming all the way across the field. We had the perfect route on for it. Could not hit. But we would get a field goal, 21-17. It is in the hands of the defense. We need to stop, and we're going to get a solid play there to bring up a 2nd and 13. But out on to the perimeter, to the edge, Another classic missed tackle from myself. Usering abilities always on display in the Sonoma State Dynasty. But we're going to get the Thundering Herd into a 3rd and 9. And they're going to go back to the screen underneath that flat area. Terrible tackling. Lucky we were able to hit him well enough to force an animation where he got out of bounds. But not the defense we want on 3rd and 9. That would have been better in that situation. But we do get pressure on 2nd and 3. To bring up another 3rd down chance. But it has not been our day in the down to get off the field. And 3rd down is another Marshall touchdown. Quick slant for the score. And for the first time today, the team has a 2-score lead and just too much time standing in the pocket by Teron Barnes. It is a sack. 3rd down and 14. Another 3rd and long. It's just so hard because we don't have the quality of offensive line to be able to ever really just run it straight ahead. That's why we run so much option stuff. But then that play is very boom or bust, more on this game than I feel like in real life. So when it doesn't work, you really end up behind the sticks. So hopefully next year we'll get some good improvement in the offseason from the offensive line. We'll be a little better equipped to kind of steady the ship, I guess, when we need to offensively, keep ourselves a more beneficial situation. Sorry to get away from exactly what's going on here, but more of the same. Marshall moving down the field. That is Noah Collins getting beat right there. And it is another Thundering Herd touchdown. They have been slinging the rock today in Rohnert Park, and just bad press technique from Noah Collins. No other way to put it. But looking to see if we can do something to get back in the game. Down 18 entering the 4th. Not over, but we need some big plays on both sides of the ball. And Teron Barnes and his athleticism just going crazy right there. Again, I'm tried to make this team so it's bad with guys who have some traits that make it fun, and using athleticism at quarterback is certainly one of them, but an impressive throw right there while getting hit. I know the quarterback scrambling is viewed as kind of like a cheese way. It's almost a bailout way, and I mean, to a degree in real life, it is, because defenses just aren't designed to account for running quarterbacks. But going forward, I will try to get some more pocket guys, for the sake of challenge, and just to show that, hey, we can build a good offense with a pocket quarterback. But on a rollout here, 4th and goal, gonna get it in. And the answer the Seawolves needed, they get. Now the pressure goes to the defense, 35-24. And it would have been a lot nicer to get a quick score there. Give us some more time, already under 6 minutes. But a great job from Alexander Valentine, getting out there in the one-on-one coverage and making a play. And here, would someone bring down the quarterback, please? The fundamental tackling needs to be addressed urgent. My goodness. But we do get the ball back. And the fundamental throwing needs to be addressed equally as much. So improvement on both sides, right? You can say, oh, the offense is carrying, the defense sucks. There's mistakes on both sides. We need to get better. We need to get all around better. We drop a ball here. We were just making it hard on ourselves, if you can't sense from the tone of my voice. The plays were there to be made, it felt like, for a good duration of this game, and we did not capitalize on opportunities. But a good back shoulder ball there to Demetrius Williamson. I would love to do that more with him as we get down to the end of the season here. And, I mean, it's Game 7. Latter half of the season. Those possession guys can be a little tough because they don't create natural separation, so you do have to really get good at throwing them open, and I'm still figuring out which settings on passing I like to be able to make that happen. But hopefully going forward we'll be able to do that more. And don't let that distract you from the fact that we are on a march and well alive in this game. Do not talk, Calvin. That is an interception, and Marshall may have put the nail in the coffin. A different episode of the show, I said hammer in the coffin. That's definitely not correct. So I apologize and B, correct myself. But Marshall looking to put it away, going to bring him up just short, 3rd and inches, get the ball back just outside of the 2-minute warning. No timeouts left, so need a touchdown. Again, don't talk. Don't talk. Needed a score and then an onside kick and another score, but that's not going to happen. And Marshall is going to kneel out the clock. And we have our 2-game win streak snapped. I promise there will be a day where a 2-game win streak is not something we are even really talking about. It's just run-of-the-mill activity in Rohnert Park. Today is not that day, and today is also not the day that win streak extends to 3. We fall to 3-4 on the season. Braylon Braxton, 341, 4 touchdowns. Offense outgains them. Not a terrible game. Defensively, again, a lot of pass yards allowed. Only 23 yards rushing. Our rush defense has really done a decent job, but we feel like we're facing a lot more throwing than we are rushing because we are so prone to big plays on the back end, but not an all-around bad effort from the defense. Just not enough plays on offense. 1934, 219. Need to either have more explosive plays on those completions or more completions all around. Solid day on the ground again for Barnes. 86, 17 attempts. Javion Foreman, Demetrius Williamson, biggest contributors in the receiving game. A lot of different guys with a catch. We like to see that. And Chase Freeman, what an unbelievable game. 17 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. All over the place. It's going to be interesting because I feel like our defense just naturally through improvement will get better. But we also are going to be losing a guy who does a lot for us in Chase Freeman. But a look at the stats there for Marshall. 153 yards there from D. Harris. I don't know your first name. I apologize. Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week, Chase Freeman. 70 tackles, 4 for loss. What a week for the senior. Not for us overall. Tough loss. Fall to 3-4. But we'll see you next time as we take on the Gauchos of Santa Barbara.